drugs or doing what he talked about or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I was just fucking confused. I was like, why? Like, why did he die? What is the significance of this? Like, how did Bull actually die? Like, this is so weird. I was confused, straight up.
What we like to call before their time. Now, just with me, I died physically in this lifetime. So to all you, to everyone out there, I just want you to know something, that there is no such thing as died before or after your time. When your time comes, there's nothing that you can do about it, man.
SouLivate.
Before we say our pieces about Rich Homie Quan, so yesterday, basically, well, now yesterday, on September 11th, the police report came out, and basically the police report had his girlfriend and his baby mother, basically give her report, and his brother gave the report. So
Yeah.
his brother said that the last that he seen Rich Homie Quan was the night before of his death at 3 a.m. in the morning, and he was basically falling asleep near the kitchen floor. So what his brother did is he picked him up and he put him on the couch. Now he said that he had food in his mouth, so that, that's another topic to talk about. And then the next person that woke up was his girlfriend. She woke up in the morning around 7 a.m. to take the kids to school. And she seen him sleep. So she left, to her, he's sleeping. She left him sleeping. And then the next time that she checked on him was at 11 a.m. So basically 4 hours later.
Right.
So the last time that she checked on him that's when she realized that he was cold and he wasn't breathing. And that's when the police was called and everything. So for now, they are saying there's no foul play expected. So basically, there's been a lot of talk about him ODing, basically overdosing.
Right. Yeah.
So they are not claiming that yet. You know what I'm saying? They haven't ruled that out yet, but they're not claiming that yet. The second thing that people were talking about is that he OD'd on counterfeit pills. Basically, he bought some shit off the street, and and it was bad pills. To people that are not aware, his real name is Dequantes Devontay Lamar. So I just wanted to, from myself and from SouLivate, give a shout out to his whole family, to the fans, because a lot of people forget that the fans are they get this special connection with an artist, man.
Right.
A song or an album becomes a playlist of your life a lot of times. So even when we think of the family and much love to the family, because they must be going through, it's the hardest thing in the world to lose someone. But also shout out to the fans, because I know you guys are going through some tough things. So Spence, man, when was the first time you heard about Rich Homie Quan? Like, because you're born a little later on, man. So when did you get introduced?
Shoot. I mean, I believe he was rather popping, when Vine was around. That was like a thing before TikTok. And Flex, his song Flex was like probably one of the big songs that like I first got introduced from him for. Type of Way. You can't get enough of that song.
Nah.
I just kind of saw him. I'm a big YouTube kid. So like I was very big on just kind of exploring YouTube on some casual shit. And if I don't recall, I'm pretty sure around that time when I was listening to Future and all those heads, like I was kind of tapping into him and like his whole wave. Yeah, probably around the time that like either Flex dropped or like Type of Way was like when I first found out about him. So
Hmm.
yeah.
See,
But
I
I
don't.
love him. He's fire.
Yeah, yeah. So how did you feel when you first heard of him passing, man?
I was confused. I'll be very honest. Like out of all people that could have passed recently, I would have never expected homie Quan, bro. Like, because again, he's a rapper of his own, but like I never knew he was like, I mean, supposedly on drugs or doing what he talked about or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I was just fucking confused. I was like, why? Like, why did he die? What is the significance of this? Like,
Mhm.
how did Bull actually die? Like, this is so weird. I was confused, straight up. Still am kind of confused.
You know what's crazy? Is that my wife and I was talking like a couple weeks ago, and I was like telling her like, "Yo, it's so good because you know a rapper hasn't died in a long time, man."
Yeah, that's a great point actually to look at for
You know
real.
what I mean? Because we did have that one year when Lil Peep and Mac Miller, and like it seemed like Triple X, and it seemed like just Pop Smoke, man. Like it seems
That
like
was
we were,
crazy.
yeah, that we just kept losing rappers, man. And
Real shit.
I told my wife, I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's so good that rappers are not dying at the same rate, and then this shit happened, man.
Yeah, yeah, real
So
shit.
did you ever suspect that he could have been on something, man?
I mean, me personally, I never would have guessed it, and that's just me. Like, I listened to his music. I didn't listen to him a lot. You know what I'm saying? I knew about him through his hits and shit, but he was one of those kind of rappers, like specifically for me, where like he was kind of on the back burner. You know, if I
Mm,
heard him, I heard him. If I didn't, it was like whatever. But again, still, I just don't get how and why. And like, it's just such a weird timing. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's been rappers, like you said, that died in a period of time. And then it's like, it dies down. And
mhm.
then it's just like, poof, he's gone. Like,
Yeah,
there's got to be a weird significance to this story. And like,
yeah.
what it all dives deep into, because you mentioned the food thing, drugs and shit like that. I mean, I definitely know Bull talked about it in his
Mhm,
songs,
mm.
but a lot of people can just talk about anything until you see it in person. So you never know.
So basically he was, and you should check this out. He
Yeah.
was on the Math Hoffa podcast, and Rich Homie Quan, he was on the podcast a couple years ago, and he did talk about his struggle with drugs. He talked about how he was on Molly like every single day, for an extensive period of time. But
Screw that.
so I'm a recovering addict, and I would just say my piece, because I have this channel. We have a whole other show that's called Not Dead, where we commemorate like all these artists that unfortunately pass what we like to call before their time. Now, just with me, I died physically in this lifetime. So to everyone out there, I just want you to know something, that there is no such thing as died before or after your time. When your time comes, there's nothing that you can do about it, man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And what you can do is, when you make certain decisions in life, it will affect the day that you may pass. But
Real
you know
shit.
um
This is SouLivate.
but ultimately, when somebody has to go, somebody has to go. I always told this story. I had a homie back in the day. He was a gang member. So this dude, he was shot, he was stabbed multiple times, he was even burnt alive in a building one time, and he made it out.
Damn.
So nothing affected this dude. And this is a true story, to God. And he was walking down the stairs one day, he tripped, he fell, he broke his neck, and he died that way. You know what I'm saying? So
Rest in peace.
when it's your time to go, it's your time to go, man.
Yeah.
Now I will say about the drugs. See, the problem is that someone coming from the background that Rich Homie Quan came from, that I came from, is that we have a lot of trauma that we don't deal with, and what ends up happening is that we end up self-medicating ourselves.
Right.
And when we start self-medicating ourselves, the neurological composition of our brain changes, whereas a couple years of your drug use may pass, and if you want to stop using drugs, you don't feel the same anymore, man. So
Right.
I just wanted to say to all of you people out there, don't be so hard on someone that you see that might be struggling with substance abuse, because it is their responsibility, but on the
Mhm.
other hand, it is an actual disease, man. It's
Real
it's
talk.
it's so easy to cross that red line, but once you cross that red line, it's so hard to,
Yeah.
get out of it and make a change, man. So don't be so hard on them.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree.
yeah, what do you have any certain like memories of his songs maybe playing out in your life, like, because I do, man.
For Rich Homie Quan,
Yeah, like something, you might have been with a girl, like,
football,
well,
football practice.
share that memory, man.
I would definitely say middle school football practice for sure. We there was what's the other song that was like really popping around that same time too? It's the look at the flick of the wrist, look at the
Oh
flick
yeah,
of
yeah,
the. That
yeah,
was that song, Quan songs. That whole little era
yeah.
was very big for me when I was younger and I was playing football. So I'm pretty sure like during practices and stuff, we used to play it in like locker room and like, get hyped up to it. OT Genesis was around that time too with like Coco, Wiz Khalifa, all that shit. So like, yeah, I would say probably around football time was one of the best memories I'd say from hearing his stuff. And then honestly, besides that and like Vine for me and hearing it on the internet, like I didn't tune in too much, but I would hear it. I honestly, I'll be so real. I heard it a lot in memes. Like
Mm.
I'll be so like a lot of the time I would hear it in memes and like funny videos and like I'd be like, oh shit, like that's a throwback to my childhood and stuff. Like that's pretty cool. So it was cool to see that shit for sure. So I would say around then.
So
I was like 15, 16.
in 2013, I'm a rapper and everything. So in 2013, I'm a hater towards, what I'm saying, like trap music and like mumble rap and all these SoundCloud shits. Like, I'm a hater. I'm gonna keep it real.
For
So
sure.
one summer, man, like I was going through like drama with my sister and everything like that. So one night, what I do is I take my nephew and my niece and we go down to Asbury Park. We're coming from New York, we're going to Asbury Park,
Mm.
and we put on Hot 97, man, and some type of way comes on, man,
Oh,
and
fire.
it blows my mind. I'll never forget this moment, man, because all of a sudden I went from being a mumble rap hater, man, to like, hold on, man, there's something in this, bro.
Like there's
Cause
something fire about it, low key.
cause
There's
it
some
just
type of way.
yo, it sounded so fly, bro. And like it was such a, what I'm saying, like F you to the haters, man. You feel some type of way, you know what I'm saying?
Like screw y'all. Like
And I was just banging that shit like when I heard the news, you know what I'm saying, about him passing. I was banging it like riding around, and it brought me back to that moment, man. And that
same with me too. I was with Tree Pop when we, that day we were driving around and listening to it. It's the same shit.
so that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, man, like a lot of these songs, a lot of these records become the playlist of moments of our life, man. So I wanted to, what I'm saying, give a huge shout out to Rich Homie Quan. He will never die because physically his legacy will always go on. We will always, what I'm saying, play that track and, what I mean, feel
For
and
sure.
this is what I wanted to say, man. Homie Quan, thank you for giving us that music that made us feel good, made us feel fly. You know what I'm saying?
100% right there, man.
Yeah. And
That's the music. That's the music that people will, when you hear it again, 10, 20 years, it's gonna make them feel the same way as
yes.
they did when they were younger.
Yes, man. Yes. And metaphysically, man, that's why I have the
Yeah.
show called Not Dead, because metaphysically energy can never cease to exist, man. So, what I'm saying, what I want to do is I want to wish Rich Homie Quan his soul, you know what I'm saying, a good journey, man, wherever he is. You know, either he's going to heaven or he's going to reincarnate somewhere or whatever it is, man. I want to
Yeah,
wish him a good journey. And again, tell him thank you for giving us these bangers that we can play out, man.
for
And
sure.
and yeah, and just people, you know what I'm saying, if you have someone around you that's struggling with, you know, substance abuse and everything, just go easy on them and try to, you know, understand like why is this happening the way it's happening, man. Anything else you wanted to add on as far as Rich Homie Quan?
I ain't gonna lie, you body that. Like I would have literally said the same thing, man. Like rest in peace, homie Quan, man. I mean, amazing rapper, made amazing songs for his time that he was here. You know what I'm saying? I watched interviews of him too, you know, even on YouTube. He seemed like a really solid dude. And I don't know. I don't know if he ever missed or not. I still got to keep going through the catalog and get updated. I'm a late bloomer, but rest in peace, bro, man.